Afraid, emotions getting in your way. Afraid, but why you let me fall in love if you're afraid to commit? And don't call me in the middle of the night and say that you're not able to be loved. That's not right. No, I don't wanna be that one. Still a million miles from you, so I'm gonna let you go. Oh boy, if you only knew, not a day goes by without you on my mind. You couldn't go on together. You said nothing lasts forever, though you can't deny. Hold it all inside. No, you can trust me. Just close your eyes, knowing that I'm around. I'll be around. Yeah. You're not scared of love, just scared of love. Alright, alright, enough. Just tell me if you want my love or not, or not. 'Cause I don't wanna be that one. Still a million miles from you, yeah. So I'm gonna let you go. Oh boy, if you only knew, not a day goes by without you on my mind. You couldn't go on together. You said nothing lasts forever, though you can't deny. Hold it all inside. No, you can trust me. Just close your eyes, knowing that I'm around. I don't wanna be that one. No, still a million miles from you. So I'm gonna let you go. You go. Oh boy, if you only knew, not a day goes by without you on my mind. You couldn't go on together. You said nothing lasts forever, though you can't deny. Hold it all inside. No, you can trust me. Just close your eyes, knowing that I'm around.
Tell him I need my money right now. Promise the juice, they stole out my crown. Yeah. Sorry to tell you, I know my value. I'm gonna recoup, yeah. But don't waste my energy, my energy. I don't got much, don't be wasting all my energy. I keep it tight, don't let nobody get close to me. My heart is right, don't question my integrity. No, I thought we would be just fine, and I thought your heart was like mine. But let me find out, you've been going around throwing shots, running plots. Come on, man, tryna block my blessings, but no need for comparisons. What's from me won't be from me. Yeah, I'ma go through just to grow through. But pay me what you owe me for, I make what you've been saying about me true, true. Tell him I need my money right now. Promise the juice, they stole out my crown. Yeah. Sorry to tell you, I know my value. I'm gonna recoup, yeah. Don't waste my loyalty, my loyalty. I let you in back then because I couldn't see, but now it's clear you ain't ever been true to me. My intuition ain't ever lied, I had to leave. Handle your business. Do what you think you need to do to get your revenge. But you won't break me, God, as my witness. Past the point of no return, I'm on a mission. Tryna block my blessings, but no need for comparisons. What's from me won't be from me. Yeah, I'ma go through just to grow through. But pay me what you owe me for, I make what you've been saying about me true. True. Tell him I need my money right now. Robbed me the juice, they stole out my crown. Sorry to tell you, I know my value. I'm gonna recoup it. Don't waste my.
She's putting all of her cards down on the table, knowing there's no way that you'll be able to win this one. But she's somebody else in the making. First, she just gotta stop all the faking, and she'll be there. But she's wondering if it's gonna feel like she's forever. Wondering if it's gonna feel like this whenever she leaves her safe space. She leaves her safe space. Wondering if it is forever, or is there some place that will make her feel better? Make her feel better. Then that's where she'll go. That's where she'll go. Somebody say, don't be afraid of loving yourself, 'cause that is all you got in the end. You got in the end. But she's wondering if it's gonna feel like this forever. Wondering if it's gonna feel like this whenever she leaves her safe space. She leaves her safe space. Wondering if it is forever, or is there some place that will make her feel better? Make her feel better. Then that's where she'll go. That's where she'll go. Talking to myself 'cause I don't know what I want. Yeah, I'm here talking to myself like someone's gonna respond. I'm getting tired of myself 'cause I don't know what I want. But I'm not out here on my own. Wondering if it is forever, or is there some place that'll make her feel better? Make her feel better. And that's where she'll go. That's where she'll go. That's where she'll go. That's where she'll go. Yeah, that's where she'll go. That's where she'll go. Talking to myself 'cause I don't know what I want. Yeah, I'm here talking to myself like someone's gonna respond. I'm getting tired of myself 'cause I don't know what I want. But I'm not out here on my own.
Yeah. I want a house in the hills I pay big bills for. I ain't got in pocket. I wanna empty out my wallet. I wanna stop motion, stand still. Wallace and Gromit. I wanna talk more endlessly. I wanna neurotically vomit. I want more dollars from my mama. I want a palace and Prada. I want a Gucci bag where I can store my sorrows and hardships. I wanna gold plate my finance. I want endless tomorrows. I want a lot more than I got right now. But that's the problem. You could give me every little thing I'd ever want, but I'd never have enough till the day I had it all. Yeah, you can give me every little thing I ever want, but I'd never have enough till the day I had it all.
Oh, I see what you want, baby, but it might be just a little more than I can give you.
On second thought, I want $1 for everyone, not just for my mama. I want to hit the ball out on random pedestrians. I want my questions to be answered to my brain bored and questionless. I want more self-assurance. I don't ever want to second guess. I want someone to shut the fuck up, lest he trying to tell me yes again. I want so many best friends that I can't tell what friendship is. I want the diamonds, gold, and glitter. I want fast cars I'll never whip. I want it all till I'm empty in my castle of everything.
Oh, I see what you want, baby, but it might be just a little more than I can give you.
I want a cushy job that pay big bills and cheap thrills. Wanna mob out with my homies like Timmy, Tommy, and Dill. I'm not trying to be famous, okay, maybe a lil. Since I'm a rapper, I should buy me some grills and gold frills that I can sleep on while I contemplate pills and peep on, hold still. Might sedate you, just a fire at will. I got an appetite for hardship, big fish meets krill. Don't sleep, don't spill, I ain't got my fill. I want the beauty queen to make me show my pearly whites. The type of movie scene that make you count your blessings twice. It's not the only thing that's on my list, I checked it twice and sent it off to Santa's elves like I've been playing nice.
I see what you want. Oh, I see what you want. Oh, I see what you want, but it might be
A little more than I
give you.
You broke my heart a million times. Can't count the times I made you cry. Oh, it's such a mess now, and we're burning out. I get so sad at the thought of losing you. I'm losing you.
Good morning, y'all. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's still perfect as the day goes by. They make me smile.
The world if it would give us time, yeah, to work things out, to work things out.
Good morning, everybody.
To work things out, to work things out, yeah. To work things out, to work things out.
What's up, Kimberly?
Oh, yeah. To work things out, to work things out. Can we be honest? You're my comfort zone.
Lakeisha.
Whatever I say, don't let me go. I know you're angry,
I just forced
babe,
myself to
and
eat some
I am
oatmeal.
cold. I get so sad at the thought of losing you. I'm losing you. I can't bear the thought of losing you. I'm losing you. You're still perfect as the day goes by.
Still perfect.
Even the worst ones, hey, they make me smile.
They make me
I
smile.
stop the world if it would give us time, yeah, to work things out, to work things out. To work things out, to work things out, yeah,
Make it happen,
yeah.
y'all.
To work things out, to work things out. Oh, yeah. To work things out, to work things out. To work things out, to work things out.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I am hard-headed. I am like most men, hard-headed and stubborn. You know, most men have a lifespan shorter than women. And one of the reasons why men's lifespan is shorter than women is because we don't pay attention to the nurturing side that women try to do for us. We ignore a lot of the advice that they give. My mother gave me some oatmeal last week. She gave me an assortment of teas last week. I have been told by my mom. I've been told by my mom, my Nana, the other grandmom, was told by my ex, drink tea. Ask me how much tea have I drinking in the last week. That's right. This is the first cup. I haven't drinking any tea like I was supposed to. You guys. So, let me get this going. All right. What we got going on here? Big Bad Bull. What's happening, man? What's up, Drea? Hey, Sherry. Lakeisha says, don't forget to hit that button. Jill. What's happening, Mike? Mike just became a member. Everybody.
Being number one isn't easy.
Everybody, please throw your salutes.
Sir, yes, sir.
Mike just became a member of the SR Army.
Sir, yes, sir.
Everybody throw up your salutes.
Sir, yes, sir.
Mike just became a member of the SR Army. Shout out to you, Mike. Shout out to you, brother. We appreciate you, man. We appreciate you for joining the Army. You just unlocked perks that other people don't have. And it's well worth its admission price. Trust me. Especially considering the things that I have in store for the people that's members. I haven't even been able to give it to them like I want to because I had this COVID, but it's coming. So everybody give you a shout out to Mike.
Sir, yes, sir.
For joining the Army. Mike just became a member, y'all. Marvelette says check text. Marvy, I can't check text when I'm live. It's very distracting. Big Bad Bull, what up, bro? Erica. Kim, how am I feeling? I'm sleepy. That's it. I'm just sleepy. I'm tired. I'm just sleepy. The body pains is gone away though. The body pains that I normally have, they're kind of gone, you know? So now I just want to take a nap, but I can't take a nap because I have my sons. So it's kind of like, that's what I need to do. Either way it goes, you guys, let's get ready to go, you guys. Today is the Book of Obsidian. We are reading the Book of Obsidian, a manual for the 21st century Black American gentleman. Today is the Book of Obsidian. We are reading the 21st century Black American, the manual for the 21st century Black American gentleman. And we are knocking out, I believe we're knocking out chapters 25, right? Yes, 25, 26, 27, and 28. We're getting ready to read those chapters. And Marvy, I can't text you. Marvy, why do you? Okay, for those in my life, when I'm live, don't ask me to call. Don't call me. When I'm live, don't call me. Don't text me. All right? It's very distracting. and it's frustrating. So please don't call me, don't text me when I'm live. All right, you guys already know. All right, so just when I'm live, just leave me to the live part, because when you text me or when you call me or you want me to stop the show to pick up the phone and attend to you, I'm not doing that. So please don't ask me to text you. Please don't ask me to call you. It's very distracting. It's too much. All right. So hopefully this is the last time I have to say that. If I haven't, I've already said it before, but so it's important that you guys know that when I'm live, I do not want to be texted. I do not want to pay attention to my phone. I do not want my phone ringing. I don't want anything like that. All right. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right, guys, here we go. We are getting ready to knock out chapter 25. We're getting ready to knock out chapter 25. I'm trying to drink this tea that I have been advised to drink for the last week, and I haven't drinking any, and I don't know why I haven't. This is green tea, I think. I don't know, because I got so much. Either way, it feels good when I drink it. It feels good. It feels good, you guys. All right, so we're getting ready to go. All right. Hold on. Am I on the right screen here? Rich people read. Hold on one second. That should help a little bit. It was a little dark. All right, guys. Let's switch over to our read screen. We're getting ready to knock out chapters 25, 26, 27, and 28. Let's get ready to go, you guys. All right. Sex is on the menu, so make it an itinerary. Upgrades. Neo, The Matrix Reloaded. Back in January 2018, funny man Aziz Ansari fell victim to the Me Too steamroller, having been accused of sexual misconduct by an anonymous woman. Because there was no independently verifiable evidence either way, it became a classic he said, she said scenario. And in the current times in which we live, what the woman will say will likely be believed in the so-called court of public opinion. Ansari suffered tremendous reputational damage as a result of the incident, which dogs him to this day still. Just think of what would have happened had he slowed his roll a bit and emailed Grace an itinerary of the evening's events, which included sex, and gave her a chance to opt in or opt out through that same email. Screenshots of those emails could quickly be disseminated on Ansari's social media. He has 2.3 million Instagram followers, for example. And that could prove a heck of a defense for himself, wouldn't it? In fact, should it have gone that far, Ansari could use those emails as evidence in court of law. If someone as famous and successful as Ansari, who, last time I checked, has an estimated net worth of $18 million, can be Me Too'd, who can't be? Would you like to roll the dice like Ansari did? Would you be so lucky? In my recent column, All the Crazy Ladies, I laid out the case for what I call dinner whorism that is so widely prevalent today, proofed by two powerful academic studies on the matter. Remember, the sample sizes of those studies combined, account for roughly 1/3 of the overall American adult female population. A pretty big number when you think about it. In light of these revelations, along with the raft of seismic changes to come down the pike in our Me Too era, it's time that we address an old bugbear once and for all: the date. In today's chapter, I will make the case for how and why it is essential that a gentleman not only make it clear up front what he wants from a woman when taking her out on a date, which is, of course, sex, and how to do it in a way that quickly sorts through the women that aren't interested, weeds out the dark triad women, and brings those women who are down for what you want to do across the home plate. In other words, how to make an itinerary. That's right, an itinerary. So, without further ado, let's get right to it. Dating is sorely in need of a 21st century upgrade. Dating as we know it today is actually a rather recent invention in human history. I've been saying, sidebar, I've been telling people that for a while. Dating is new. Dating is as a result of the 20th century. The 1800s and beyond and before, there was no dating. Nobody. I mean, you may see it romanticized in a few movies. You may see a few period pieces where they made it seem like a guy took a woman out to the play, or they went on a horse and buggy ride along, through the city and shit. That shit didn't happen. There was no dating per se. A man identified a woman that he wanted to be with. He went and asked the parents if he can have the girl's hand in marriage. The father either approved or disapproved, and it went from there. Only since the 20th century and diamond rings and things like that has dating become a thing per se. And so now a lot of people think that it's normal, but in human history, dating is actually not normal. All right, here we go. Dating as we know it today is actually a rather recent invention in human history, coming about the turn of the 20th century in response to massive migration of American citizens, especially young women, from the countryside to the cities. Technological innovations such as the telephone and railways and steady but sure changes in social roles were among the sexes. Believe it or not, we still cling to these now archaic norms today in a vastly changed social environment that is also massively technologically charged. And that's just the way the ladies like it, for reasons already laid out in my previous column. However, all of this and more clearly points to the overwhelming, undeniable fact that dating in our times is in desperate need of a top to bottom upgrade. And given that my background just happens to be in that area that lends itself to fixing problems as an industrial machinist, machine operator, mechanic, and engineer, I'm just the man to do it. What's interesting when I have these conversations online and in person in mixed company, all of a sudden, Black folks are Victorian era prudes. Negro, please. Why all the fainting couch, clutching pearls drama now, when, as we all know, the Black marital rate is at an all-time low of below 30% and projected to fall even lower than thanks to the Black millennials? When nearly 80% of all Black children are now born out of wedlock, and of the roughly 60% of Black baby mamas in Black America today, another 60% of them have more than one baby daddy. And don't get me started on the extremely high rate of infidelity afoot in Black American life. As I noted in the last week's column, what the Obsidians can learn from the tragic fall of Antoine Fuqua. In short, ain't nobody waiting to jump the broom to bump uglies, nor is a wedding band gonna prevent us from bumping them with someone else either. So, like I said, Negro, please. Premarital sex in contemporary Black America ain't just a fact of life. It is firmly embedded into the Black American experience today. So all of you fake the funk without the nasty dunk broads out there can miss me with your fainting couch routine. If the data is anything to go by, chances are very high that you've had sex with a bro for a lot less than I or any of my students at my dojo are offering. But because you didn't get that boyfriend experience from the umpteen losers you banged with reckless abandon, you figured you can get that from the proverbial good guys, and no one would be the wiser. Hence all the squawking from the sisterhood when I did my live shows and columns on the dinner hoe issue. Many Black women honestly do think that gentlemen are chumps, dupes, and suckers just waiting to be licked. And the truth be told, lots of Black women have certain Black men they like to bang, while others they like to get favors, cash, and prizes from, like free food and, like free food and the like. They know they ain't likely to get that boyfriend experience from the guy they like to bang, so they figure they'll get it from you, and up until very recently, this sort of thing worked. They really thought the gravy train would never end. Think again, ladies. The gig is up. I've got the power, and now so do you. It may be simple to say, but it's true. Black men have far more power than they realize or may be willing to admit. And this isn't just true with the regard to dating and mating. It's true about life overall. Never before in American history have Black men been more in a position to be the authors of their own destiny. We can be anything we want to be. The sky's the limit. And this is true in our love lives as well. What do I mean? Well, let me put it this way. Since I've invoked our American way of life, let me put it this way. Since I've invoked our American way of life, while our government has at the very top a president, he isn't able to just do anything he likes. He has to get the okay from the House of Representatives. Why? Because it is the House that actually pays for any and everything that the President of the United States wants to do. This is how and why the Speaker of the House of Representatives is so very important. He or she literally holds the purse strings to the entire American federal government. If he or she doesn't sign off on anything that needs to be paid for, to be done, nothing happens. It is why you've seen so many wranglings between the Capitol and the White House. The epic battles between Ronald Reagan and Tip O'Neill instantly come to mind. What is my point with this mini civics lesson here? Only to point out one thing. Just like the Speaker of the House, you too have the power of the purse. And as such, you have the power to decide how things go. Yes, fellas, it is true that Black women determine who gets to have sex, but it is we Black men who get to decide which Black women will become a wife or not, a girlfriend or not, or even a date for the evening or not. Black women have successfully run a psyop on Black men that they are the prize, right? I almost wore my t-shirt, sidebar. I almost wore my t-shirt today that says the prize. I should have wore that sucker. Today I'm wearing a solid black tee, but I should have wore the prize tee. All right, let's continue. Black women have successfully run a psyop on Black men that they are the prize, when in truth, it is the other way around. It's so interesting. Sidebar. It's so refreshing that to read a book that was written, that predates my really beginning here at YouTube. In a book that I've never read, that espouses the same ideologies that I've been saying forever. You know, the whole the woman the woman is the prize thing. And I've been getting a lot of pushback on that when I'm saying, no, men are the prize. And I've been giving reasons as to why men are the prize, right? And it's really a trip to just read it in a book. And because a lot of times, some of the stuff that I'll be saying, people will make me whoop. Some women will try to make me feel like I'm crazy for the way I think. It's like, nah, what are you talking about? That's not, you don't know what you're talking about. And it's like, no, I know exactly what I'm talking about. Because I'm doing it scientifically. When I scientifically look at the state of Black America, when I look at our relationships between men and women, when I look at how things are ran, what gets paid, what doesn't get paid, what's more important, what's not more important, what feels good versus what's practical, it comes down to be honest, what a lot of people would like to give me pushback, they think is bullshit. But to me, it's not bullshit. It makes perfect sense. So when I say things like, well, guys, I think you guys, fellas, you are the prize. Have you guys seen the talk show? The King Talk that I had over at Lapeef Network, where we talked about the prize? And, you know, some of the fellas on the panel was like, you know what? It depends on who it is. You know, it depends on who brings what to the table. You know, and if you girl is got, I'm just listening and I'm just like, And they got to me and they was like, Shan, who's the men? Men. It's, I mean, I'm not even sure why we even pussyfooting around this. It's men are the prize, period. In a good, solid, standard relationship, men are the prize. If prize had to be assigned, not necessarily to call it the trophy, because the trophy isn't a prize, by the way. It's just a symbol. It's a symbol of winning. But the prize is the men. It's just that simple. But we're so many men have been conditioned to. Anyways, we'll get to that because I don't want to fuck around and do a whole show on something else. Here we go. Black women have successfully run a psyop on Black men that they are the prize, that women are the prize, right? When in truth, it's the other way around. Don't believe me? Think about all the other transactions involving money in your life. How did those go? How were you treated? Like the mortgage company, landlord, car dealer, etc., was doing you a favor? Or did they actually treat you like a valued customer? You know the answer to that question, and dating is no different. Just as the President of the United States has to treat the Speaker of the House with some respect, if for no other reason that he won't be able to get anything done, the same principle applies here. Any Black woman you take out should at bare minimum be respectful of and thankful to you for taking her out, because you are the one footing the bill. You're paying for the date. So get some kind of respect. In other words, if a broad don't act right when on the night out with you, cut her off right then and there and let her pick up her own tab. Simple as that. Sex is on the menu. How to make an itinerary for the evening that ends with a bang. First, a quick word on what we're doing here. Gentlemen, we have to be aware of and accept that we are now firmly rooted. Everybody, throw your ones up.
Being number one isn't easy.
Everybody throw your ones up.
Being number one isn't easy.
Let's give love to Javaro. Javaro is once again blessing the channel. I'll stop the show to identify those who's investing in what we're doing. Let me update the system. Javaro, thank you for the investment, bro. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the blessing. Thank you for the $20 blessing, man. Don't forget to send the email. I think the system is telling y'all what to do. I don't really get, I'm not sure if it's backed up or not. But make sure you guys are sending in your emails to super chat so you can get your gift cards. Excuse me. Make sure you guys are sending in your email so you can get your gift cards. It's important. All right. Man, I appreciate you, Javaro. You're always taking care of your boy. You're always holding me up, man. It's really, I don't know how else to say thank you, but thank you so much. All right, let's continue. Sex is on the menu. C. Anthony Johnson, once again with a $10 super chat. Salute my brother. Time to grind. Thank you, C. Anthony Johnson. Thank you, bro. I appreciate you. Everybody, throw your ones up.
Being number one isn't easy.
Throw your ones up for C. Anthony Johnson. Remember, he just took care of us at the last reading on Monday. Here we are on Wednesday. He's once again taking care of us again. Thank you, bro. I appreciate the $10 blessing. Thank you so much. Thank you for the $10 blessing. Thank you for the $10 blessing. All right, here we go. Let's continue. C. Anthony Johnson is blessing the channel along with my man Javaro. Appreciate you guys. All right. Sex is on the menu. How to make an itinerary for the evening that ends with a bang. First, a quick word on what we're doing here. Okay. So, gentlemen, fellas, this is really for you. Ladies, you can listen. Just know that this is ladies, just know that this is what this is what you'll start to experience as you date in the future. Gentlemen, we have to be aware of and accept that we are now firmly rooted in the Me Too era and all that it entails. That means in order to protect ourselves these days, we have to document our interactions with Black women. And that's be it both professionally and romantically. Okay. And what better way to do that through an email, which is admissible as evidence in the court of law, I might add. And just think of how things might have turned out for Ansari above had he did a pickup quick itinerary instead of just diving right into some bullshit. Next, I've said it before and I'll say it again. In the words of the professor, Tom Likas, dating equals porking. In other words, men date to have sex. This has always been the case and will always be the case. And do not let anyone try to tell you otherwise, especially any Black woman with their right from the Black female fuckery talking points memo of the psyops. You have every right to expect to get laid when you take a woman out. And that brings us to the point of the section in today's chapter. All right. Which is to make an itinerary of the date. That's right. You are to actually put together. Everybody. Sir Tice.
Being number one isn't easy.
Sir Tice. Everybody throw your ones up to Sir Tice. He says, yo, Shan, salute, bro. I've read the paperback. Enjoy your reading of it. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And believe it or not, even though it's only by a penny, Sir Tice is now the sponsor of today's show. Hold on. Boom. Got to put Sir Tice in the lights. All right, Sir Tice. Thank you, man, for the $20 blessing. Everybody throw your ones up.
Being number one isn't easy.
I'm pushing through this reading. Thank you, everybody, for throwing your ones up.
Being number one isn't easy.
Sir Tice. All right, let's continue. Thank you, bro. I appreciate you, man. You are now the stream sponsor. You can see your name right there going across the screen. All right. And that brings up the point of the section of today's chapter, which is to make an itinerary of the date. That's right. You are actually to put together an email. And I'm sorry, you are actually to put together an email. Wait, where am I at? Okay. Which is to make an itinerary of the date. That's right. You are to actually put together and email your potential target an itemized listing of the evening's festivities, of which sex is definitely on the menu. Here's what it will look like. And yes, you will want to use this as your template, fellas. Fellas, you will want to use this as your template for when you get ready to go on a date with a woman that you are interested in having sex with. Good morning, Alice, we'll call her, right? You are cordially invited to join me for dinner at whatever's. Here's what we'll do. We have reservations at whatever for 7 p.m. I'll pick you up at 6:30 p.m. Dinner at whatever begins at 7 p.m. 3, after dinner, drinks at Bob's Bar at 8:30. Number 4, it's back to my place for some seriously freaky sex at 9:30 p.m. Number 5, you're back home sometime between midnight and the next morning. And please RSVP at your earliest convenience. Thanks. MOA. Mumia Obsidian Ali. That's it, fellas. That's what you send an email to. Everything you do with Black women, you want to keep it brief. Your approach, brief. The time she needs to get to know you, brief. And your plans for the evening, brief. You want to get right to the point because, gentlemen, have things to do in this life and not dick around all day long. Now, this is how you got to do it. You have to send the itinerary out through email no less than 5 business days before the date itself. This gives both your target a bit of time to decide if she wants to opt in for the evening, and it shows that you are forthright and businesslike, as all gentlemen are. If you don't hear back from your potential target within 48 hours of the actual date itself, assume that she is not interested and make other plans, fellas. Remember, gentlemen, have a social life with or without a +1. The great thing about this is if she's hot for you, and this is what's important, fellas. The great thing about this, if she's hot for you can't wait to email back yes. If she is interested in you, everybody, throw your ones up.
Being number 1 isn't easy.
Everybody, throw your ones up. Uncle Stu, old man on the block, is blessing the channel with a $5 super chat. He's always blessing the channel. Always blessing the channel. Always blessing the channel. Oh, and Uncle Stu is now monetized. Everybody, let's give him a round of applause. Everybody, let's give Uncle Stu a round of applause. He's blessed the channel with a $5 super chat, and he has monetized his own channel. He's blessed this channel with $5 super chat like he's done many times before. And now he is monetized himself. Let's start supporting Uncle Stu. Let's reciprocate. Let's start taking care of Uncle Stu. Shout out to you, Uncle Stu. I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you. Uncle Stu, right now we're giving fellas the blueprint to how their dates should be in the future. This is to cover men's bases. I know what I'm reading to a lot of women right now, Uncle Stu. They're like, that is crazy. That is crazy. It's crazy to them, of course, because it's coming from their perspective. Put them on our side of the Me Too movement. Put them on our side of multiple endless date after date after date, spending money on a woman who has no interest in no romantic or sexual interest in the guy that she's spending his money. She'll have no problem with that. They don't call that crazy. right, Uncle Stu? That's okay. Oh, that's just how it goes, is what they say. You know, with me reading to them. No, I'm sorry. Me reading to the fellas what fellas should do, including sex on the menu with going out, is something mind blowing to them. But guess what's not mind blowing? Guess what's not mind blowing? Going out on multiple dates without having any interest in the guy that she's going on a date with. They don't have a problem with that. They are not as mind blown on that as they are when it comes to us saying, "Look, we expect to have sex at the end of the date. We want a return on our investment." So, everybody, RCC just hit us with a $10 super chat. Everybody,
Being number one isn't easy.
Everybody, throw your ones up for my man RCC. RCC, I appreciate you, bro. RCC once again don't have nothing to say. He just wanted to bless the channel. And then Lakeisha, who just passed her test yesterday, is blessed the channel. You guys keep blessing the channel. I appreciate you guys.
Being number one isn't easy.
I'm hanging in there. I know y'all blessing the channel because I'm sick and it's tough for me to read today. It's really tough for me to talk. I got to catch myself from coughing every time I speak, even though I don't have a cough. Like, I don't have a cough. I don't have sniffles. I don't have a headache. I don't have a fever. My temperature is normal. But when I'm speaking, it's like I got something in my throat and it makes me want to cough. So it's weird. But thank you guys. Thank you so much, RCC. And thank you so much, Lakeisha. Both RCC and Lakeisha didn't have anything to say. They just wanted to bless the channel. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys. And by the way, let me speak on something real quick about these two individuals, RCC and Lakeisha Michelle. Let me speak on something real quick. Let me put this out here. I want to make sure this is for the record. I want to record this. We work out every morning doing something called the Daily Burn. Not that many people come. We're up at 6 o'clock in the morning, Pacific Standard Time. It's 9 o'clock on the East Coast, right? And we work out. And we spend about 45 minutes, sometimes 50 minutes, doing a morning high-intensity interval training workout. Lakeisha and RCC has been there with me since day one. We took a fit test when we first started, and we took a fit test yesterday morning. Lakeisha has increased in some of her fit tests by 20. Like, she had done like one move, only 40 of them. The next time she did 61. My man RCC has become flexible and he's increased too. He didn't have his paperwork from his first test, but he knows that he increased the second time around. These people have been working with me every day for the last 2 weeks and plan to do so for the next 45 days because they are currently remodeling their bodies. They are currently remodeling their bodies. I want to give an extra special shout out to RCC 72 Detroit and to Lakeisha Michelle, because those two people have the mindset of winning. That's all that matters. Everything else will fall into place. As long as you got the mindset to win, everything else will fall into place. And so I just wanted to give a big shout out to Lakeisha and to RCC and to tell them that I'm extremely proud of them and I'm happy to be, I guess, YouTube friends of theirs, because we haven't met in person, right? But I'm super happy to be YouTube friends with them. And I'm honored to have them as part of the SR Army and to be a member of my channel. Thank you so much, you guys. Thank you for the super chats. But I did want to identify you guys and speak a little bit on your dedication to your own self-personal growth over the last 2 weeks. I don't want to let that go unnoticed. So thank you guys so much. All right, here we go. Hold on. All right, here we go. The great thing about this is if that woman likes you, fellas, if the woman that you send that itinerary to, and on that itinerary, it has hot, sweaty sex, if she's into you, bro, if she has the hots for you, she can't wait to email you back and say, yes, sounds like a plan. On the other hand, fellas, if she happens to not be interested in you, she will either email you back, no, thank you, or she will never respond. And we'll get to that more in detail in a bit. Either way, with these kind of women, will have absolutely no problem with your plans for an evening out. But the black women who will have a problem with this are the kinds I described in my All the Crazy Lady chapter. The dinner hoes and the dark triad women. They will pitch a fit with you, try to get you to change your mind about the sexual part of the plans. Do not go for it, fellas. Stand firm and demand that you get an up or down vote on the plans. They are what they are. Either she's in or she's out. Now, this is where things get interesting, because we know that dinner hoes and dark triad women want to get free stuff from you. That's what they want. They want free shit from you, right? There's been no problem with women getting free shit from men for years. But now these women want free stuff from you. So in this case, a nice evening out full of free food, right? Free food. I mean, it could be lamb chops, or it could be seafood. It could be lobster. It could be top sirloin steak. It could be all the yummy fixings, the great dessert. Oh, let's not mention the wonderful glasses of wine and more drinks after that. Oh, they have no problem with that stuff, right? With you just pulling out your credit card, and it's just like, okay, cool. Here you go. Here's my credit card. Yeah. Just put it on this card. They don't have no problem with you doing this. They'll take and they'll sit there, sitting there real prissy and pretty, prim and proper, and sitting there, oh, well, thank you. I appreciate you spending all of your hard-earned money that you worked all week to make on me. They have no problem with that, right, fellas? What did he say? They will pitch a fit with you, try to get you to change your mind. Oh, no, we already read that part. Now, this is where things get interesting, because we know that dinner hoes and dark triad women want to get free stuff from you. In this case, a nice evening out of full of free food and drinks. But they know if they just flat out say, no, thank you, you're going to pull up stakes and move on. So what is very likely to happen here is that she's going to lie and feign interest by opting into the plans in writing, then attempt to weasel out of the sexual part of the evening. Expect this to happen a lot in Black America. No problem. Uncle O's got you covered should this happen. Read on. Violators will be prosecuted. Violators will be prosecuted. A very common response to listeners and folks who talk to me about itinerary things is to say, them sisters are just going to take the dinner and dip out, right? They're not going to stick around for the sex part. They're going to just get the food and then they're going to dip out, right? Thinking that I hadn't already planned for this very likely scenario. Well, as it turns out, I have given the matter lots of thought and have come up with an appropriate response. Reputational damage. There is something called reputational damage. Oh, what did I see, Princessa? Shout out to you, Princessa. She says, please stop dealing with women who do not have the heart to serve and give. Both of you should have a servant's heart. Shout out to Princessa for that one. Shout out to Princessa for that one. Let me put that up on the screen real quick. Hold on. Princessa says, please stop dealing with women who do not have the heart to serve and give. Both of you should have a servant's heart. Absolutely. Let's continue. Reputational damage. That's right, bro. If you happen to take out a Black woman who writes back, opting into your date plans, knowing that sex is on the menu, and then she tries to dip out on you instead after the free food and drinks are consumed, you simply turn to your gentleman's network and put the word out on her that she's a Black woman's whose word cannot be trusted. This is one of the perks of being a gentleman. They have social networks where they pretty much get all their needs met: employment and business opportunities and advancement, as well as in matters pertaining to dating and mating. And a social network can have a pretty devastating impact on lying, freeloading, psychopathic bitches. Once the word is out on her, no one in the gentleman's network would dare attempt to take her out, and they will be keen to continue spreading the word about such a woman too. Lest you think my modest proposal is too harsh, just consider this. Women publicly shame men through social media all the time. Women publicly shame men through social media all the time. How many of those memes you guys have read? Dusty ass, niggas ain't shit. Yeah, I mean, you see it all the time. You see it through social media like all the time. Remember that whole dick pic thing? Women have shamed guys on social media for that. What about this video by dating expert fixture Deborah Cooper? Yeah, that. In fact, just spend a bit of time scanning social media and you'll see all kinds of examples of women of all colors, but especially black women, shaming and outing black men for their supposed misdeeds, real and imagined. All I'm proposing is that black men stop playing by the outdated Marquise of Queensberry rules of engagement and give the little ladies a taste of their own medicine. After all, what's good for the goose is good for the gander, right? Since this is my idea, and baby, I'm offering my reach and influence as an on-air personality to act as a hub to putting the word out on black women who do such dastardly deeds. If you happen to run across such an individual, please forward all of the details, including a good photo of the bitch in question, to the Obsidian Files at gmail.com. And I will be sure to put the word out on my daily talk radio show and my members only newsletter. The time has come for this dinner hole nonsense to end. And we here at Obsidian Dojo are going to do our part. A final word for the ladies. Ladies, this is for you. Listen up, ladies. That's for the ladies that's listening to us read this book right now. Here, this is for you. Since I am fairly certain that my musings will be seen by black female eyes, I want them to know the following. After years of listening to so many of you complain about fuckboys, ain't shit black men, and so on, I have decided to give you what so many of you claim that you claim to want. Black men who are courteous, black men who are kind, black men who are well groomed, and black men who have money and are generous with it. Black men who are willing to take the lead and approach, plan, and pay for dates and so on. If you have read the above and have a visceral reaction to it, if you don't like what you just read, if you vehemently disagree with it, then it only tells me that you haven't really been paying attention at all. Because I am merely giving you what you said you want, but with a twist. In order to get what you want, you have to also give us what we want. Consider it fair exchange. Be careful what you wish for, ladies. You just might get it. All right. This is a short chapter, only 9 pages. Let's move on. We're on chapter 26, guys. Chris Morgan, short guy warrior. Let's jump right into it. I'm gonna skip the quotes. Last week, an incident took place in New York City. Instantly went viral on social media. Chris Morgan, standing 5 feet even, had a mini incredible hulking out tirade at the Bagel Boss establishment on Long Island. Feeling that he was being maligned and mocked for his lack of height by the female staff, Morgan unleashed a torrent of butthurt and grievances against women, citing his extreme difficulty securing dates using online dating services like Tinder and OkCupid and the like. The incident culminates in Morgan challenging a much taller man to step outside, at which point the larger man tackles Morgan to the ground, much to the joy and laughter of onlookers and the Bagel Boss staff. Without question, Morgan's actions were uncalled for and behavior unbecoming anyone even trying to be a gentleman. That didn't mean that the source of his lament wasn't understandable by the numbers. That's because what has become known as a heightism, have you guys heard that term, heightism? You know, just like colorism, right? Heightism, discrimination against shorter statured people, is well documented across the globe. Another fellow New Yorker, the famed writer and thought leader Malcolm Gladwell, has documented this very well in his excellent work, Blink, in a chapter called The Warren Harding Error. The Warren Harding Error, so named after our 29th president. Harding, an otherwise mediocre political talent, and one major qualification, his height. At 6 feet even, he struck an impressive pose, and a dedicated behind-the-scenes lobbyist did the rest to assure Harding's name will go down in American history. Gladwell points out that in the modern era, as in the 20th century, no man has been elected to president of the United States of shorter stature, defined in tailoring terms as 5'7" and shorter for males. This has especially been the case since the famed Kennedy era, when television and mass media, as we know it, became a staple of the presidential politics. The last time we had a president of the United States that was 5'7" or shorter was William McKinley, well over a century ago. And our current president of the United States, Mr. Donald Trump, is among the tallest we've ever had at 6'3". Only Lincoln was taller than Trump, who Lincoln was 6'4". Going further, writing in Taki's Mag earlier this spring, Mr. Steve Saylor himself, no slouch in the height department, wrote a piece called Short Shaming, where he made the case that heightism against shorter men in particular was the one safe ism our woke society could safely engage in because it's about men. Everyone who was aware of the Bagel Boss incident above knows that were it a fat black woman, or a lesbian, or a member of some other protected minority group, said tirade would not have been viewed so negatively. Again, Morgan didn't acquit himself very well with his own behavior and actions, but we've seen much worse behavior on the part, for example, black women, Black Lives Matter protesters, and recent events at Disney World instantly come to mind. Then there's the uttering work of the heightism activist Mr. Joe Mangano, also a New Yorker and founder of the highly informative website Support for the Short. Never heard of that website. Have you guys heard of that website? Support for the Short. Mr. Mangano documents the very kinds of short guy hate that Mr. Morgan railed against last week on the part of women, especially on dating sites such as Tinder, Plenty of Fish, OkCupid. Have a look. The real reason women don't date short men, right? Then there's also the reasons why Kenyan women prefer tall, dark, and slim men. And then there's Mizu officials, tall men asking out short women is sexual misconduct. And that's just for starters. Take a bit of time out to pursue the site for yourself. Not to be outdone, even famed and noted dating coach for smart, successful women, Evan Mark Katz, freely admits that women's virulently bigotry against shorter men is an extraordinarily tough nut to crack in a post on his website titled, "If you are short, fat, older, or an Asian man, you must read this, but especially if you're short." That post garnered some 1,500 comments and counting, nearly all of them from very smart, successful women. Katz caters to, who doubled down on their right to slight the sight of height. Might that be a reason why he got out of the dating coach business for men in the first place? Who knows? By now, you get the point. Taller men are not only preferred by society overall, but by women in particular. But nowhere is this more in evidence than in Black America. That's because it's a simple but often harsh truism that Black women, by and large, prefer not only height in men, but by a considerably wider margin when compared to women of other races and cultures. You see, Black women tend to prefer men well over 6 feet tall. In fact, Black women pretty much consider a man short if he's under 6 feet tall. In fact, another dating coach of considerable repute recently recounted an incident with a Black woman who, disbelieving his stated height of nearly 6 feet, actually broke out a construction worker style folding yardstick and measured him, much to his displeasure and chagrin. This sort of thing is so well known in Black American cultural life that even cultural powerhouses like Essence Magazine acknowledge it in a piece titled, "Why is it so hard for Black women to find love that they deserve?" That piece, which was actually an interview with 2 Black lady matchmakers, notes their observations in working with American women across the country and how Black women were very particular about a man's outsized height when compared to American women of other races, often to the sisterhood detriment. And if shorter guys of other races think that what they endure from women of their own backgrounds is bad, it pales in comparison to the outright cruelty and mean-spiritedness many Black women can dole out to the shorter Black men for merely existing, let alone having the temerity to ask them out. It ain't about the size of the dog in the fight, but the size of the fight in the dog. All right, we've got all the laments out of the way. The empirical evidence is undeniable. Being a shorter guy, all other things being equal, sucks. Fair enough. So now what? Well, the first thing we as short guys have to do, and I will say this at 5'7" myself, is that there's little point in worrying about things you absolutely cannot change. Moreover, being bummed out about women, and let's be honest here, this is about women, as Chris Morgan rightly pointed out in his outburst, who won't give you any play because of your lack of vertical cred, does you no good either. Instead, it's time to focus on the things you do have absolute control over: your mindset, your presentation, and your real world accomplishments. So with that said, let's begin. 1, fellas, mindset. This is to the shorter guys. I want you guys to pay attention. Mindset. All right. As noted above, it is very important to focus on the things you can change and can do, than to focus on the things you can't change and can't do. You may not be able to change your height, but you can change your weight. Chris Morgan is notably overweight, something he can absolutely do something about, especially since he has disclosed that he has diabetes. He has a very good reason to lose the excess weight. Simply put, if you're a shorter guy, extra weight will show up on you quicker than a big and tall guy. And even women who are on the fence about you when it comes to your height will hold it against you if you're both short and seriously fat, bro. So the first thing you can do is change your diet. Then move your ass. I'm not a dietitian or a fitness coach here, so feel free to hit up some pros in your area to see what's available. Just know that if you're carrying something extra, right? If you're carrying something extra, it is not going to help you in the ladies department. You don't have to be ripped like Tom Cruise. Just don't look like Chris Morgan. Capiche? Another thing that shorter guys got to use to their advantage is the power of humor. You got to be funny, bro. Because humor can be a shield and a sword. It can defend you from the harshness of others and can give you can give as good as you get in return on others too. Humor has also been documented in being a proxy for high intelligence, a major consideration for women when looking for a mate. Trust me, many a woman have regretted getting with a dumb oaf of a man. All right. Now, number two, that was mindset. Number one is mindset. Is that something you can control, right, fellas? Get your weight under control. Mindset. All right. Just to my shorter fellas. Number two, presentation. Now let's talk about your presentation. All right. Yeah, it's an old chestnut, but still true. Clothes make the man. Now, I wholeheartedly believe this. I'm a fashion guy. I'm a fashion designer, right? That's what I do. So, I believe presentation matters, right? Yeah, it's an old chestnut, but still true. Clothes make the man. And this is especially the case if you're a shorter guy. This is especially the case if you're a shorter guy. Hold on, let me clear out some of these notifications that's popping up on my phone. You really need to look sharp, fellas. Period. You really need to look sharp. No dingy t-shirts, no dingy clothes, But before you do, you got to know your proper suit measurements. Yes, that's right. I said suit. Get used to wearing them. That is what gentlemen do. And while all men can't be towering figures right out of central casting, all men can be a gentleman. And that includes us shorter guys. One of the biggest mistakes I see shorter guys make when it comes to their clothing is that they are too big. The clothes themselves are just too big and make them look even more boyish than they actually are. I mean, look at Morgan. He dresses like a kid. No wonder no one takes him seriously. Who takes a grown ass man? Wait, hold on. Let me find my spot. Who takes a grown ass man of any height seriously who dresses like that? Trump may be 6'3", but you never see him without his trademark dark colored suit, extra long red tie, etc. He always dresses for success, and shorter guys can too. So, proper fit is very important. And you don't want to get an R, which is regular suit. That's for guys who range in height 5'8" to about 6'1". You want to focus on the S for short suit sizes, which are made for men at my height, 5'7" on down. Because you are a shorter guy, you have less margin for error in your presentation. The little things will be huge, for better or for worse. So things like tailoring and grooming, what accessories you wear, like the belts, the hats, the jewelry, your watches, the bracelets and rings and ties and the ascots, all make a huge difference, fellas. Oh, and when it comes to the suit pants, you want them not to have a break. This is because that will make you look shorter than you actually are. What you want as tidy a look as possible, and a proper fitting and tailored suit always does the trick. There's more that I could say here, but let me hand it off to my friend Saint Kevin Samuels, who is a pro at this stuff. His website, bykevinsamuels.com. Be sure to hit him up and tell him that old man sent you. All right. Number 3, it's your accomplishments. This is for the shorter fellas. This is for the things that you do have control over. right? You don't have control over your height, but you do have control over things like your accomplishments. This is perhaps the one area of life that is 100% within your control, because you're free to work as hard or as little as you want, to make as much of a name for yourself as you want or not, and to make as much money as you want or not. And trust me when I tell you, if there is a great equalizer among men when it comes to the ladies, it's money. I've lost count as to the number of ladies in my life who forgot all about my lack of height when they look at the size of my wallet. It's a miracle. But seriously, fellas, resources matter. And that is within the reach of any man, regardless of his height. All things being equal, and the science backs me up on this, men with resources fare better on the mating market than men without. I mean, seriously, do you think Tom Cruise is wanting for female company on Saturday night if he wants it? A final word. Going back to black women above for a moment. While it is true that black women generally prefer outsized height in a man, it is not absolute. There are black women for whom height just isn't that big a deal, pardon the pun. Still, it has been acknowledged that for many shorter brothers, considering women from cultures like Asia or South America, where men are naturally short of stature to begin with, is a surer shot. I would agree. My personal dealings with women from these societies isn't extensive, but from the relatively little bit of contact I've had, has borne this truism out to me, to say nothing of my shorter guy buds. One of them has been married to his Latina wife for more than 20 years, and he is shorter than yours truly. He's only 5'4". He always had trouble getting fever from the sisters. Having some cash on hand to travel, should it come to that, is definitely a nice option to have for a shorter guy, especially a black shorter guy. Yeah, being a shorter guy of any race is challenging, but it is not a death sentence, fellas. More next week. Now, go get him, Tiger. All right. This chapter is even shorter than the last one. It's only 7 pages. Cup of tea. Wow. Cup of tea. Is that a coincidence? All right. Let's dive right into cup of tea. She loves me not. You guys hanging in there? I'm reading a little bit better than Monday, right? Today's a little bit better. I think so. All right, here we go. With an undeniably increasing number of black men becoming educated and or successful in contemporary American life, black women are themselves increasingly faced with a powerful conundrum. This fact on one side and their multi-decade long narrative on the other, that holds that for various reasons, there is a massive dearth of suitable, eligible, marriageable black male mates. Even more, with this steadily increasing state of affairs being the case, yet another issue emerges, that of black women conflating attraction for competence. While the two qualities can certainly exist and overlap in the same black man, what happens, a lot more often than most black women are willing to openly admit, is that their real problem is that there are more than enough competent black men to go around, while not nearly enough attractive black men to go around. Ooh. Ladies, you guys hear that? There's plenty of men to go around. There just isn't plenty of attractive men to go around. There's plenty of fellas. Don't say that, oh, there's no good black men. Oh, yes, it is. There's plenty of good black men. Is there a lot of attractive black men? What's a girl to do, right? The answer for us, Obsidian, is simple. It's not our problem. I say that because it isn't our job or problem to figure this out for black women. We are who we are. And if there are wait, and if there are one, some or even a lot of black women who don't vibe with what we're all about, that's perfectly okay. No harm, no foul. As the SYSBM bros movement has repeatedly demonstrated, women from other areas of the world have a different take on what makes a black man attractive. Viva la difference. Big Booty Brenda comes clean. Among my greatest hits podcast over YouTube in the summer of 2017 was based on a snapshot pic on Facebook over top the image, which featured several dozen suited and booted, clearly successful and educated black men. A young black woman hailing from Peachtree State stated the following. That's that Peachtree State, that would be Georgia, I believe, right? All right. She said, hold on one second. I can have a Pop-Tart, please? No. Yeah, it's on the table. You get it on the table. Hold on, my son wants a Pop-Tart. You see it? Yes. Okay, go back in and close the door. I'm almost done. Thank you, son. Okay, so the lady says, no, hold on. The little one tried to sneak out. Okay, so the lady from Georgia. So in 2017, Obsidian had a post on YouTube, and it was a picture full of accomplished, well-groomed black men. And a sister from Georgia said this, quote, "Okay, I'm not posting this to be judged, but judge if you want. And yes, I'm single because I know somebody's going to ask. But anywho, apparently these are successful black men in this photo. And I am only seeing maybe two and a possible that I am visually attracted to, who all the exquisitely fine niggas usually be hood dudes. Like, I legit want me a white collar man, but they ass be looking super lame." My podcast, which I titled Big Booty Brenda Comes Clean, damn near went viral, and I was keen to praise Brenda for her candor as an unusual thing to behold among black women today. Her confessional hinted at something I had long suspected, that ladies, is this you? I'm getting ready to say something. Listen up, ladies. Well, hold on. Where did it go? Blah, 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 blah. I'll take it from the top. My podcast, which I entitled Big Booty Brenda Comes Clean, dinner went viral, and I was keen to praise Brenda for her candor as an unusual thing to behold amongst black women today. Her confessional hinted at something I had long suspected, that lots of black women often make an existential crisis of their inability to find an attractive, visually attractive black man as a mate, and are loath to publicly admit it. Right? So what they do is hatch all manners of grandiose excuses and arguments about mass incarceration, or black men being on the down low, and my personal favorite, bellowed by highly educated black women for decades, about how they simply cannot find a black man on her level, right? Because they can't find a guy that looks good visually. They come up with all this bullshit. Mr. Donnie Mac, everybody throw your ones up.
Being number one isn't easy.
Mr. Donnie Mac is in the house. Mr. Donnie Mac, throw your ones up. Appreciate you, Donnie Mac. What does he say? Mr. Donnie Mac says, "Look, Shan, I remember that picture. 3 had beards and another 2 were not smiling." I haven't seen it. I'm going to go look for it, though. I'm a damn sure go look for it. So there was this photo of some accomplished brothers, and the woman basically came and said, I ain't checking for none of them because they're not visually attractive to me. Doesn't matter how smart they are. Doesn't matter how well off they are. Doesn't matter how much of a provider or protector they will be. He don't look good enough for me. You guys remember the post that I put back in October or November on my Instagram? For those that don't follow me on my Instagram, that's where I put it. Basically, in that order, putting down what black women prefer in men in a priority, and looks was number one. Whereas other cultures, it's flipped, right? So, thank you, Mr. Donnie Mac. Everybody,
Being number
one
one
Donnie
isn't
Mac for that.
easy.
Thank you for blessing the channel, bro. I appreciate you and your continued investment. You know, I'm looking for that word. Investment into this channel. You're investing into it. The $5 is an investment into this channel. Thank you, bro. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. So when they can't find a man that they like, when they can't find a man that they're attracted to visually, they come up with all the bullshit like, oh yeah, black men are in jail, and black men are on the down low, or like the smart chicks say, oh, I can't find one that's quote unquote on my level, right? Why would black women do this, you may ask? Well, I have a novel theory that just might explain it. It goes something like this. Many black women have seriously complicated sexual motives and behavior. This is true of women in general, as the excellent read Why Women Have Sex by evolutionary psychologist David Buss and Cindy Meston makes clear. But this seems particularly true with black women. My reason for saying that is because of the high place of importance black women across the socioeconomic spectrum place on highly attractive black men, much more than women of the ethnicities and races, according to Kelly Fisher and Tanya Gilmore, two black female matchmakers with a nationwide practice, right? Such conspicuously handsome, suave, and accomplished black men are extremely rare. You hear me? I'm going to say that again. Conspicuously handsome, suave, and accomplished black men are extremely rare. And so, to get around being harshly judged for their shallowness and frivolity, what black women have done over the past 30 years or so is masterfully crafted a narrative that holds that there is simply a dearth of quote unquote eligible black men, which takes us to the incarceration, down low, and not enough black men on their level arguments, for starters. All of this acts as a kind of fig leaf over the more base desires, something that black women from the middle and upper middle white collar classes in particular have to be careful not to let slip. And so these other reasons and rationales and downright excuses all serve to give black women very good, plausible deniability as to how and why they have so much trouble attracting and or locking down the elusive select fuckboy, conspicuously handsome, smooth, accomplished guy. After all, the many years of the native acting as a convincing cover story for why so many black women are so unlucky in love in the word got out as to the real reasons why so many black women are coming up short. And it has a heck of a lot more to do with what's easy on the eyes than what's the true measure of a man is. The social blowback could be downright explosive. And black women writ large know it. Hence, the narrative, which until very recently has incredibly gone without any real challenge for some 30 years running now. But I contend that may finally be changing as the Facebook vignette from the above bears out. Do your part. A popular topic in black social media circles and venues, particularly those that have to do with either Black Manosphere pickup or both, concerns itself with how best to appeal to the particular taste of black women, while the more pat view is to tell excuse me, the average guy to try to ape select fuckboys, my own approach is quite contrarian. Simply do your part, bro. What does that mean specifically? Okay, do your part means that you are one, you're reasonably fit for a black man of your age. Fellas, this is you doing your part. And I want you to judge yourselves harshly right now, fellas. All the guys that's listening, I want you to judge yourselves harshly. All right. Keep it real. Because all that lying to yourself, we don't do that. Men don't do that. I'm going to just put it out there like that. Men, we don't lie about ourselves. You know, we're not all 10s. If somebody was to ask us to rate ourselves on a scale of 1 to 10, you can't use 7 fresh face out the shower. We don't say 10 every time, right? Because we know the fucking truth. So I want you to rate yourselves as we go across this list, fellas. Do your part means 1, you are reasonably fit for a black man of your age. Are you, fellas? Are you? Are you reasonably fit for your age? Number 2, are you well groomed? Or do you look like a fucking booger wolf? Right? Check your hair, right? Check your nails. Right now, check your nails. Right? How's that mustache and beard? Is it all scraggly and shit? You need to be well groomed, fellas. Number 3, well dressed. And Obsidian always is suited and booted when going out. Do you dress well? Or do you dress slovenly? You just throw on whatever the fuck and it don't matter. Number 4, are you well spoken? Do you have a command of the English language? Do you speak well? Number 5, are you well mannered? Your temperament. Do you have your temperament under control? Or are you driven by emotion? Number 6, are you courteous and polite to everybody? To everybody you know. Are you courteous and polite when you speak with them, when you're in their presence? If they were to talk about you, would they say he is extremely courteous and he is very polite? Would they say that about you? Number 7, are you accomplished in some way? Or are you just dead weight? Come on, man. Let's keep it 100. Are you accomplished in some way? Or are you just fucking dead weight? You know, you're just a waste of time and shit. You just sucking up oxygen, using it up because you're not really contributing anything to society. And then number 8, are you earnest and forthright? Do you keep it 100, fellas? Are you? Be truthful, gentlemen. Be truthful. So long as you have met the above requirements tailored to you, like a bespoke suit, you need not worry about anything else. You have done your part. If old girl ain't feeling you, that's perfectly okay. It doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you nor her. It simply means that you weren't her cup of tea. And that is no crime, fellas. What a lot of black women frequently do is conflate their personal sexual preferences in a black man with a black man's competence, often blaming the lack of the latter for their inability to secure the former. This is not a problem you can or should solve, fellas. Black women frequently complain as a way to get black men, often those they have no attraction for the least, to solve problems for them. This is not your job. You have plenty of problems of your own to attend to. Helping black women bridge the divide between non-select guys and the select fuckboys ain't one of them. Sidebar. This is something that I preach. This is something that I preach. This is something that I preach. Do not fellas, you will become the handyman for a lot of these young girls as she gets you to do stuff All while the guy that she actually wants to be with don't have to do none of that. Stop doing that shit. Stop being the one that she calls when the tire goes flat. Stop being the one that comes and hangs her flat screen TV. Don't come fix her Wi-Fi that's not working at her house no more. Don't come over and unstuff up her toilet. No, fellas, that is not your job. That is the job of the guy that she's giving some pussy to. He gets the pussy, he gets to do the work. But so often, girls is out there, oh, that's my friend, that's my homie. He take no. Fellas, you now need to start saying, have that guy do it. Well, wait, you want me to come do what? But I thought you was my friend. I am your friend. I am your friend. But in any event that my toilet is stuffed up, I'm not calling you to come unstuff it. I'm not doing that. So then what makes you think that I'm going to come over and do that for you? Think about it, fellas. When you get sick, how many people is rushing to come over to help you? They need you to help them fix the vacuum cleaner that somehow the band broke and she's not strong enough to change the band in the vacuum. But when you get sick, she ain't stepping up. She's just like, oh, damn, that's crazy. You need to be more, oh, damn, that's crazy too. That's what you need to be. All right. All right, let's continue. The simple truth is that no black man will turn every black woman's crank. Wait, where am I at? Okay, yeah. The simple truth is no black man will turn every black woman's crank. Now, to be sure, there are some black men who turn more black female cranks than others, and some black men who do it for a small number of black women. These are both facts of life and also completely out of your control. It is not your responsibility to get a black woman to like you. So long as you have done what you were supposed to do per the list above, all else is up to her. If she's feeling you, great. If she's not, great. Simply move on to the next black woman. Or better yet, simply move on to the increasingly number of women beyond Black America's borders who have strongly indicated their interest in what average guys have to offer. The world is a very big place, my friend, and you owe it to yourself to consider carefully all of your options. The black women you don't want don't count. A word should be said about a topic that is rarely, if ever, broached in these kind of discussions, and that is this. There's a kind of unspoken rule for the average black man that holds that you should be content, you should be okay with, right? To be getting any interest from black women at all. And that you are almost obligated to hop on it. Please let the record show I cannot disagree more, right? You're supposed to help black women no matter what. The neighbor, the homegirl down the hall, the black girl at the job. You're supposed to help. You're supposed to step up, right? To help black women. Black men are supposed to step up to help black women, period. No matter what, because that's just what you're supposed to do. While it was certainly true in the past century that mating had as much to do with practical and pragmatic considerations as it did with personal desire-based considerations coming in distant second, today, the situation has completely changed. Dating and mating are personal concerns almost wholly driven by desire, not practicality, and certainly not desperation. Nothing good can come from you settling for the black women who are attracted to you. If you don't feel attracted to them, fellas, and as quiet as kept, this sort of thing goes on a lot more in present day Black American life than we're willing to admit. While I am saying all this, well, aside from the aforementioned, is because it is not uncommon for non-select or the average guys to attract black women that that they aren't attracted to, but which Black American society says no, but which Black American society says he should get with, either because they match in some way. You know, the old saw about the nerdy Black guy gets with the nerdy Black girl, for example, or simply because she's probably the best you're going to get. The only one who can and should have any say in these matters is you. You and you alone can make the call as to whether a Black woman who has shown interest, you want to pursue further. And you have as much a right to say no thank you. You fellas, you have as much a right to say no thank you as any Black woman who curbs a guy. No matter what anyone says, you have a right to have standards too, and to have the right to impose those standards onto the Black women who cross your path. The next decade will be quite illuminating. May we all live in very interesting times. All right. And we've reached our final chapter. Javaro says the us non-select men have it hard out here. Yeah. But you don't have to. You don't have to, as long as you know. That's why I say know your worth, King. We've only had it hard because we fell for some bullshit. We fell for the bullshit, and now we're waking up. And so, Javaro, people like you, people like me, who are getting educated about our power, right, will now be able to take this information and spread it amongst other brothers who need to know, right, to wake them up, snap them out of it, to break the spell that the gynocracy have put on these men, and to show men that, no, bro, just because you're non-select, we're not the cleanup man anymore. You know what I'm saying? We're not falling for the bullshit anymore. Exactly. It's been hard, but it doesn't have to be. So know your worth, King. All right, here we go, guys. Chapter 28, our last chapter. Damaged goods, do not use. Damaged goods, do not use. That girl is poison. Never trust a big butt and a smile. Bill Biv DeVoe. And hurt people will hurt people. Will Bovin. All right, here we go, guys. The recent media appearances of K. Michelle and Professor Crunk Brittany Cooper were both adamantly defended, where both of them adamantly defended their vaunted positions as victims of men in one form or another, reinforce yet again just how pervasive so many truly damaged Black women exist in our time today. In the former case, K. Michelle made an outrageously sexist / misandrist comment about how men in general and as a whole were not good people. Then doubled down on that during a follow-up appearance on a popular morning drive talk show in Atlanta, going toe-to-toe with Derek Jackson, a name familiar in these parts, while Cooper, sitting as a panelist on an ongoing chat show series called Black Women Owning the Conversation on the Oprah Winfrey Network, vociferously argued that the reason why she and other obese Black women like her could not lose weight was due to racism and, of course, Donald Trump. Not only was her remarks not derided by the virtually all Black female audience, they damn near gave her a standing ovation. I remember that. Sidebar, do you guys remember that? Do you guys remember when she went up there, Brittany Cooper went up there and basically said racism is the reason why Black women are fat? It had nothing to do with them just eating too much. It was racism. And everybody in the crowd was clapping and giving her a hoorah praise. It was like, what? All right, let's continue. I am not joking. She really did say that. And they really did damn near give her a standing ovation. Not to be outdone, the one and only black feminist gadfly and walking, talking train wreck in slow motion, Feminista Jones, also recently weighed in, giving a blow-by-blow accounting of how she is a tender victim in the face of her disastrous personal relationship history. Writing in the Zora subsection of the Medium website for freelance writers, Jones attempts to bare her soul for the supposed benefit of fellow black women like herself, who were victimized at the hands of ne'er-do-well black men. None of this is by now anything new to anyone reading this chapter. Indeed, how often we have the average guy have been assailed and harangued by black women like those mentioned above about how we black men ain't shit. Yeah, she was serious, Lakeisha. Sidebar. Lakeisha says, was she serious? That's the crazy. You got to go watch the interview. You got to go watch the interview. It was on the Oprah Winfrey Network. And Brittany Cooper, this is the woman that said that nuclear families aren't necessary. Remember I did the show? Remember I did my podcast about Okay, so first go for those that don't know, go back into my High Value Shan podcast. And you're going to see one called Nuclear Families. She's the one, and that's who I'm talking about in that show. She's the one that said black people don't need nuclear families. She was the one that said that. She's basically saying black people don't need a mother and a father to do good. And that despite all the scientific evidence that says otherwise, she's saying all you need is somebody to love you. It could be an uncle. It could be a boyfriend. It could be a fucking neighbor. It doesn't matter what it is. That was the same woman. So that woman is the woman that said that obesity in black women in America is as a result. I mean, is the cause of obesity in black women in America is because of racism and Donald Trump. She said racism and Donald Trump is the reason why black women are fat. I don't know. I don't know how else to say it. So let's continue. Of course, what these ladies and the literally millions of other black ladies they represent really mean when they utter that oft repeated phrase is that an empirically documented minority of black men, the putative select fuckboys, the Pookies and the Ray Rays that they get caught up with are the ones who ain't shit. But they dare not put it so bluntly. Doing so not only let the truly innocent among black men off the hook for the misdeeds of the paltry few, but even more importantly, being so candid and precise would then put the focus of personal accountability and responsibility squarely where it belongs, with the black women themselves. You see, these recent events playing themselves out on the national media stage in real time give us some powerful lessons in terms of knowing which black women to assiduously avoid out there on the dating and mating grounds of contemporary black America. There's something else. The idea that if black women are in some way or another acting out, it is the fault of black men. Because black men are the leaders of the community and as such are responsible for everyone in it. This is a view that has formidable sway and appeal among quite possibly millions of black Americans today. And it also must be said that it indicates both black women and black men in their ranks. This is why there has been no groundswell against K. Michelle and Brittany Cooper's outrageous statements, and there will likely be none in the wake of Feminista Jones's revelations regarding her own self-confessed addiction, no typo, to select fuckboys because it's all black men's fault, you see. Of course, what no one will actually say is that it is the average black guy's fault, because when they have the Pookie and Ray Ray crowd, when has Pookie and Ray Ray ever been called to the carpet to ask the question is to answer it? The origins of the race man and the cleanup man culture. The origins of the race man and the cleanup man culture. All right. One major reason why the notion, excuse me, guys, drink some cold tea. One major reason why the notion that black men writ large ain't shit has such powerful cultural force in black American life is due to the so-called race man of the bygone era. Writing in his classic work, Streetwise, Race, Class, and Change in the Urban Community, a powerful volume that details the deep and profound change that black communities underwent in the late 1980s and 90s due to a myriad of forces, not the least of which being the drug trade and gentrification, Yale University professor Elijah Anderson documents the following. He says, quote, "It may be that such rewards are related to what Caton and Drake called the race man. In the days of the traditional segregated black community, the race man was the one who felt an intense responsibility to the race itself, to the point of viewing most events, especially public ones, involving white society as having definite implications for the well-being of blacks. To such men, it was important to present their race in a positive light, particularly to whites. The traditional old head in the present day black community embodies a significant amount of race man ideology. His attempt to help young boys is also a way to help the black community. It demonstrates to whites that black people are decent, law-abiding, and respectable. In the old days, young boys would gather around an old head on the street corner and or after Sunday school to listen to his witty conversations and moral tales on hard work and decency. They truly felt they were learning something worthwhile from someone they could look up to and respect. One of the primary messages of the old head was about good manners and values of hard work, how to dress for the job interview and deal with prospective employers, how to work and how to keep the job. Through stories, jokes, and conversation, the old head will convey his conception of the tricks of the trade. This is where the present day notion on the part of many in black America, both black women and quite a few black men, that a particular type of black man is socially, economically, and even morally responsible for the community as a whole. And this notion shows no sign of abating anytime soon. The race man was seen in very real sense as a surrogate father to the wayward boys of the community. And it was his charge to raise them up. Of course, the select fuckboys they referred to as Rolling Stones back then were never quite into the account for their hit and run, love 'em and leave 'em ways. The more things change, the more they stay the same. Today, in many ways, things have gotten demonstrably worse. For example, the well-documented and public knowledge blackout of wedding birth rate now nearing a mind-boggling 80%, to say nothing of all-time low black marital rates and a sky-high divorce rate. Indeed, now more than ever, the cleanup man is needed by the community. The race man of the 21st century who is needed to step up and bear the sling and arrows wrought by their select fuckboy brethren, while the latter was busy bedding down the ladies and leaving a trail of broken hearts, used up black women, and of course, lots of babies in their wake. I hate that we read stuff that we already read again. I wish I could identify this early and just skip past it. What's in it for the non-select guy? What's in it for the average guy? While it barely requires even asking, we nevertheless press on and consider exactly what is in it for today's put upon race man, cleanup man, given their sheer recriminations, thanklessness, and even out and out hostility such stalwart, non select bros have to endure from black women, their kids, and the even wider community at large. One is hard pressed to think up anything redeeming or enticing individually for such a brother. And notions from yesterday of having pride in the race ring hollow now. Simply put, as noted above, for all the actions of race and cleanup men in the back in the day, it is clear that the select fuckboys have won. It is hard to see how it can be anything other than a fool's errand to attempt to rescue operations of the community today. As noted in my previous chapter, the Sadie Hawkins dance for adults, we all know downright antisocial and mean black women who seem to delight in making the non-select guy's life live a Hades on earth simply for existing. And when you decline to put up with abusive treatment, you're demeaned as less of a black man for not being able to handle a strong black woman, quote unquote, right? Most of these black women, even those who loudly claim to the contrary, are rarely in any kind of professional counseling, therapy, treatment for their select fuckboy withdrawal issues. Indeed, it is the unspoken stance. It could even be called a consensus that the average bros are to act as a de facto therapist, emotional tampon, emotional dumping ground, and emotional punching bag, all rolled into one. When put together with all the headaches, heartaches, and real grief, again, one is hard pressed to see what, if any, is the upside for such a black man. When pressed on the matter, those who would attempt to cajole the non-select guy into such a role cannot offer a simple, straight, no chaser answer either. A damning indictment. Now, I read that before, so I'm gonna make sure that we're not reading something over and over again. Let me just see. I'm skipping past up to here. Know the signs of the damaged goods black woman. All right, guys. Thank you, Jill. Thank you, Jill. Javaro, what did Javaro say? Funny how let me see what he put. Funny how we only the leaders we taking someone wrong. You don't want to listen and take advice otherwise. That's some bullshit. Funny how we the only leaders when we taking someone wrong. Yeah. All right, guys, let's continue. So we're going to talk about know the signs of damaged goods black women. Readers of this chapter will recall a previous chat article by yours truly called All the Crazy Ladies. The piece detailed the mental and psychological profile of the dark triad woman, Machiavellism, narcissism, and psychopathy. And that those women who admitted to practice of engaging in foodie calls scored very high in the behavioral traits. Well, would it surprise you to learn, dear reader, that those very same traits are in evidence of victims of the select fuckboys too? Trust me, they are. And are in final selection of today's chapter. Your correspondent is going to give you a few quick tips and clues as to who is damaged goods women in black America today. All right, guys. Fellas, this is for you. Ladies, you can listen because you can probably identify yourselves in what we're getting ready to talk about. But if this is what you are, ladies, then I'm advising men to avoid you. Obsidian is advising men to avoid you. So fellas, listen up. This is what you want to avoid in women at all costs, no matter how pretty she is, no matter how good the pussy is. All right. Number one, irrational defenses. Damaged goods black women are irrationally defensive, right? Everything is a fight with these broads. Seriously. They are so quick to take offense at every jot and title. You have to walk on eggshells around them all the time. This is because they have been so used and abused by the Fuckboys by Pookie and Ray Ray that their emotional and mental state is on a hair trigger. Hence, why these women are always talking about being triggered. In fact, if you ever, fellas, if you ever run across a black woman who used that word, trigger, you can be certain she's damaged goods. Turn and run, not walk, run away. All right? Anybody talking about she's triggered? I'm triggered. Oh, okay. It's nice to meet you. Have a nice day. I don't want, let me save my time. Let me save my weeks, my days, my months of anguish that is certainly to come if I keep fucking with you. You have a wonderful, I appreciate you. Take care. I wish you all the best. Godspeed. Number 2, fellas, this is what you avoid. Gaslighting. Do you know why damaged goods black women constantly talk about gaslighting? It's because aside from them often actually being real victims of it at the hands of the select fuckboys, the ones that they select, the Pookies and Ray Rays that they've selected, they chose to be with throughout their 20s, you know, the little knucklehead niggas that they decided to fuck all through their 20s and 30s, them. Because they it's because aside from them often being real victims of it at the hands of those guys, they are more often than not quite skilled at the practice themselves. They are skilled at gaslighting themselves and can and will whip it out on you in a heartbeat. Learn exactly what gaslighting is so you can be prepared to watch for signs of it in a black lady you might have interest in. If you see any of it, run away fast. Oh my God. If only I could tell you guys some stories about gaslighting. All right. The other thing, number 3, refusal to take any personal responsibility or accountability. Now, this is where you're going to end up probably, fellas, I don't know how else to say this, but you're not going to get too many women that's going to pass this test, because women don't take accountability. They don't do that. They don't say, oh, really? You know who does? My mom. My mom is weird. I'll talk to my mom and she'll do something and then I'll tell her about it. And then she'll be like, I didn't realize that. I never really caught that. And it kind of like when she does that to me, I'm like, I'm so not used to black women doing that I don't know how to respond oftentimes, because my mom actually reflects on her actions. She'll be like, really, son? You know, I didn't really see it that way. And I'll be like, so I become speechless. I'll be like, God damn. I'm so used to hearing pushback when pointing out something to a black woman that when I give my mom some advice, she doesn't give pushback. She says, oh, wow, I didn't realize that. Thank you for letting me know. And I'll be like, God damn, I'm not used to that. I don't even know how to respond to a motherfucker that says, oh, okay. Let me reflect on that and see if I could do a little bit better. It's weird to hear. And it's unfortunate because ain't nobody trying to date my mom, right? That's my mom's, right? My pops had that. My thing is, damn, mom, can you teach that to women of today? Because they don't do that. So refusal to take any personal responsibility or accountability. This follows up right on the point above. Damaged goods black women can and will attempt to gaslight you anytime she has to take personal responsibility for her actions. Recall the race man, cleanup man idea above. All that community bullshit is just one example writ large of what I'm talking about here, and it's purpose built to insulate damaged goods black women from taking any responsibility for their actions or being held accountable in the least. Go back to the K. Michelle and Brittany Cooper media appearances and hear it for yourself in real time. If you ever come across such a display of behavior, by all means, get out of there. Get to the chopper. Get to the chopper. Get out of there, fellas. A woman that does not take responsibility or accountability is a problem. And it's not worth. You talk about a death by 1,000 cuts. It's going to drive you nuts over time. It's going to drive you nuts over time. All right. So that's number 3. Refusal to take any personal responsibility or accountability. And number 4, this is damaged goods black women, right? She's in a constant state of rage. She's always mad at something. Brittany Cooper's book, Eloquent Rage, truly an oxymoron if there ever was one, comes to mind here. Damaged goods black women are always angry and ready to fight, as if a character from the Mortal Kombat or something, as if they're a character from Mortal Kombat or something. Indeed, one way we know that there are literally millions of damaged goods black women out there is the cultural expectation on the part of average guys, average black men to, weather the storm of the damaged goods black woman, rageful antics as a kind of trial by fire and test of this metal of his being a real black man. You got to be able to deal with her sassiness, right? Her attitude, her anger. You're supposed to just overcome that as an average guy. Right? Of course, outside of black America, this will be recognized for what it is. Straight up fucking abuse. If the black lady that you're considering, fellas, always seems to be pissed at something or someone, don't even try to find out why, bruh. Just do like Lupe Fiasco said, kick, push, coast, write her on out of your life. Listen, fellas, is she always mad at her job? Is she always complaining about the neighbors? Is there something always wrong with the bank? Is there something always fucked up about, the telephone, T-Mobile, customer service? Is something always wrong with the people, the waiter at the restaurant? Is she always mad at the barista at Starbucks? Is she just pissed all the time? Every day it's a complaint about something. It's like, damn, it's like no peace. It's just, you know what I can't stand? And they just telling you about these problems. If it ain't one thing, it's another. Fellas, run. It's only a matter of time before she redirects that anger and unleashes that shit on you. She's not aiming towards you yet. She's prepping you to let you know that this is how she is, and she's just mad at any and every fucking thing. And as soon as she gets comfortable, and you're locked in, either through marriage or children or otherwise, she's gonna redirect that shit to you, and then you're gonna have to deal with it. Number 5, extra beauty. Extra beauty. Finally, we arrive at perhaps the most important tale of the damaged goods black woman, because the one with extra beauty is the most difficult to spot. You see, unlike the prototypical black feminist types like Feminista Jones and Brittany Cooper or Stacey Abrams, damaged goods black women who are extra in the beauty department present a tougher challenge to the average black man, for the simple reason that they are beautiful. And as such, brothers are more apt to give her a pass for any of the behaviors displayed above, because we call that pretty privilege. Because she's pretty, she's one of them pretty chicks. Come on, fellas, think about it. She's above average pretty. So suddenly you give her a pass on a lot of these things that we just mentioned because she's above average pretty privilege, right? This, amongst other things, make them the most lethal. I mean that in every sense of the word, bro. As All the Crazy Ladies chapter bears out, damaged goods, dark triad women are much more apt to use their extra prettiness to manipulate you in a variety of ways than any of the aforementioned garden variety homely black feminist types of black women. Not only that, but their kind of manipulation is much harder to spot due to it being a lot softer, less on the nose, more oblique, and a lot more passive aggressive. Gaslighting happens a lot here, but it's much more subtle. It's much more subtle than other ladies. What you want to look out for is overdoing it in some kind of way. Often these really pretty chicks will really sex it up in the normal day-to-day settings where excessive amounts of makeup and they really elaborate their outfits that seem out of kilter in relation to the social situation. They overdress basically for based on what they're going to or what you guys getting ready to do. They overdress and shit. They do this to play up their attractiveness to the males in the round and thus attract victims. Do not be one of these victims. Moreover, do not attempt to engage them. Only a seasoned pro like yours truly can pull something like that off. Instead, when you spot one of these chicks, run. Sure, we all want a hot chick. Don't get me wrong. We all want a pretty girl, right? We want, especially the pretty girls, right? But trust me, after a bit of practice in spotting the damaged goods, dark triad black women, you will be able to tell the difference like the back of your hand. And you will be glad to get out from around her, man. You'd be glad to get out from around her. Because there are so many damaged goods black women in America today, there's simply no getting around not running into them as you navigate these choppy dating and mating waters. But if you put what you've learned today into practice out there, your chances of not getting chewed up in the black female fuckery grinder are pretty good. And that's the end of the chapter. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of the chapter for today. 2 hours and 17 minutes. That's not bad for me being a little under the weather. Let me close this out. All right. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you. Princessa says, Shan, how do you define and measure a man's success? I'll put it in another video. Only thing that we'll do over here is have an open discussion if you guys want to open up and have an open discussion. But how do I define the success of a man? Oh, that's an easy one, but I'm not gonna put it here. That's a video. That's an easy one. And it goes across the board to the select and non-select guys. Shout out to Mike. Is that the same Mike that just joined? Everybody, throw your ones.
Being number one isn't easy.
Throw your ones up.
Sir, yes, sir.
And give Mike a salute.
Sir, yes, sir.
Mike
Being number one isn't easy.
Mike became a soldier today, and he blessed the channel with a $5 super chat. He says, thanks for pushing through. Thank you for listening to my struggle reading. I'm struggle reading. Thank you so much, bro. Thank you for your support, man. Thank you for your blessing. That's what they are over here. They're blessings. They're not donations. They're blessings. I appreciate you, Mike. You guys, that's the end of chapter 28. So we move on to chapter 29, 30, 31, and 32 on Friday. Yep. I appreciate you guys for hanging in there with me. Make sure you guys go get a copy of the book. The link is over in my description of this video. The link is in the description of this video. Just tap that to go grab a copy. You can get the e-copy. It's only $8. Support Obsidian, please, and grab a copy of the book, and then also get a physical copy. I prefer you to get the signed one from Obsidian himself. All right. Make sure you get a signed copy from Obsidian himself. I appreciate you guys for hanging in there with your boy. I appreciate you guys for hanging in there with your boy. Let's do our contest real quick. Did everybody hit salute? Oh, it's only 80 you guys in here. It's only 8 people that typed the word salute in the chat. I'm going to give you guys 20 seconds. I'm going to give you guys 20 seconds to type the word salute in the chat so you can be a part of the giveaway that's getting ready to happen right now. Sherry, Hayakai, Lakesia, Miss Drea, Anonymous, Steven, Mr. Donnie Mac, M. Mills, and Princessa. Princessa just got, her name just dropped in here, so she just typed it. Everybody type the word salute. There we go. The Hungry Millennial, Anderson the Great. You guys are, oh yeah, it's loading up now. All you guys got to do is type salute. All you got to do is type salute. Snuggles, she just got added. There we go, you guys. Just type the word salute. That's all you got to do. We do a giveaway every time we go live. There we go. A to Z Health just got added. Perfect. Now we at 15. Jill's Chocolate Boutique. Yeah, we went straight from 8 to 15. Come on. Let's double it. Is there anybody else that wants to be in part of the contest? Just type the word salute. Just type the word salute. All you got to do is type the word salute. Mike just got added. Boom. All right, we at 16. All right. See? Let me show you guys. This is it. This is it right here. So right here is the contest. And then we're going to close entries. Boom. We close the entries. And then we pick a winner. I'm going to pick a winner right here. Who's going to be the winner of today's contest? Let's see. Hey, get back over here. All right, here we go. And the winner is Anderson the Great. Anderson the Great is the winner. Fantastic. Anderson the Great is the winner. Shout out to Anderson the Great. Shout out to Anderson the Great. He's the winner of today's contest. Anderson, make sure you follow the instructions in the chat right there. It has your name highlighted. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys. I'm getting ready to go let my children out of jail. They're in jail in the back of the house. Go let them out. I appreciate you guys. We will be back Friday for more Rich People Read. Please subscribe to the channel, like this video, and join the army. Shout out to Mike.
Sir, yes, sir.
Who joined the army today. Shout out to Mike who joined the army today. Make sure you guys join our discussion over at sidebar.shannonrawls.com. That'll take you to our Facebook discussion. And then make sure that... Oh, and then Javaro hit us with another super... Wait, Javaro hit us with a super chat earlier. Javaro hit us with a $20 super chat earlier. Then he hit us with another $5 one right now. So then I got to update this. Javaro Forbes is now at $24.98. Javaro Forbes is now the chat. I mean the stream sponsor. Thank you, Javaro. He says awesome read. It was okay. I wouldn't call it awesome. I wouldn't call it awesome. He says it's an awesome read. I wouldn't call it awesome. But I appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much. My name is Mr. Shannon Rawls. Thank you for reading along with us. Remember that reading is the way to expand your mind and your bank account. Tune in next time to Rich People Read, and you, my friends, are dismissed.
Yeah. Escucha. Mío en tu habitación, solo los 2 segundos que hay que detener. Porque si no siento tu voz o tu olor, te extraño y te quiero ver. Quiero ver. Tanto me falta. Todas esas noches tan soñadas. Que me levantes la mirada. Tú tienes pinta de indicada. Me haces falta, bebé. Dime qué tengo que hacer pa' tenerte de una vez, pa' no poderte perder. Dulce, eres mi bombón. Te quiero melocotón. Por ti corro un maratón. Solo di la dirección. Tú y yo, queriendo más amor. Pa' mí no es suficiente. Yo quiero tu calor. Tú y yo, con esa conexión, somos lo que la gente no ha visto de los dos. Tanto me falta, todas esas noches tan soñadas. Que me levantes la mirada. Tú tienes pinta de indicada. Mira, somos perfectos, es algo indiscutible. Mi estilo y tu estilo no están disponibles. Solo soy sensible cuando te tengo porque eres irresistible. Tus labios combinan con tus ojos, porque eres tan pretty que hasta yo de eso me antojo. Chica, necesito mis anteojos. Quiero verte en noche hermosa de todos modos. Tú y yo, queriendo más amor. A mí no es suficiente. Yo quiero tu calor. Tú y yo, con esa conexión, somos lo que la gente no ha visto de los dos. Tanto me falta, todas esas noches tan soñadas. Que me levantes la mirada. Tú tienes pinta de indicada. Tanto me falta. Tan soñada, que me levantes la mirada. Tú tienes pinta de indicada.